Hello, friends. I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? I hope it's fantastic. Everything here is great. Busy weekend. It was a whole lot of fun. Got a whole bunch of work done. We will talk about that at some point in the future. But this week, something a little different. We have a week's worth of episodes about things that make me weird. I mean, I'm weird. We know that. But these are things that I do that other people think is weird. And please, if you have any of your own to share, put them in the comments. You know, I think we all do at least one thing that other people would go, what? I happen to have enough things to fill out a whole week's worth of episodes. So that's what we're doing. And today we're talking about things I do related to dining or eating that make me weird. All right? And the first one, the one that gets the most reactions, I think, maybe the second one, I don't know, is pepper, black pepper. I use an aggressive amount of black pepper. I've probably got the most comments about the amount of black pepper that I use than anything. And it's not for necessarily everything. I used to put black pepper on all of the things. But there are things like I don't put black pepper on food that has inherently got a lot of spicy flavor, like Mexican food or Indian food or something like, I don't put black pepper on those things. It's mostly just the kind of bland, normal American foods that I really put pepper on. And when I put it on, I go hard. And people think that it's weird. And they're not wrong. It is an aggressive amount of pepper. And I think I got this from my grandfather. I always remember him having one of those, the little like square rectangle tins that has the spoon scoop lid and the shaker lid? He always had one of those and just went to town on his beans, his stews, anything that he was eating, mostly soups. And I've always just loved black pepper. And I think that something I stole from Grandpa. So that is the thing I think gets the most comments. But the second one might also gets a huge amount of comments. And that is the speed at which I eat. I am the person that I finish my entire meal before you've even started your main course. I don't take time to eat at all. I never have that I'm aware of. I say a lot of times that it's something that I pick up in the military, but the truth is, in boot camp, being the tall guy, I was at the front of the platoon, and so I got to get my food and sit down and eat, and I had more time to eat than the guys in the back. The guys in the back of the platoon would literally sit down and the drill instructors would start counting, and they had to shovel food in their mouths and leave. I had 10 minutes to sit down and eat or something. So that wasn't necessarily the case. I think I've just always eaten fast because I don't like eating. I've never been a foodie. I don't really care too much about food. Every now and then I'll have a craving, but for the most part, I could eat beans and rice every day, every meal, and just be fine. But I don't, and so I've always, for most of my life, until recently, I have always been go. There's something I need to be doing, and this eating is getting in the way of that, so I'm going to get it done as quickly as possible. And so I still just gorge. I just eat fast and go. And it makes people go, whoa, what is happening right now? I don't have indigestion from it. I don't have any, ill effects from it. I've always been that way. Third thing I can think of, there's 4 things on this list. The third thing is similar to the black pepper, is whipping cream. I don't have a sweet tooth. I don't really enjoy sweets. I don't eat them that often. Every now and then I will ice cream is okay. I don't like a ton of it. Sugar doesn't make me feel great. So I just don't eat a lot of it. And I don't have cravings for it. I'm never I want some dessert. I don't have that. But the normal times like Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, whatever, if there's pumpkin pie, I'll have a piece of pumpkin pie. But really, I'll have a plate of whipped cream. An aggressive amount of whipped cream. Empty the can of whipped cream on my pie. And my family's always giving me crap for it. But I don't, the pie is just a vehicle. I think if you just got a bowl of whipped cream, that's weird. But if I have a piece of pie in there, even if it's of a sliver, that's not weird. I'm eating pie with whipped cream. It just happens to be an insane amount of whipped cream. I do love whipped cream. The last one is directly related to going to Mexican restaurants. It's the way that I eat Mexican food. When I go, I don't typically order Tex-Mex stuff. stuff. If you're not aware, like burritos, enchiladas, all the like knife and fork stuff that you would think of as a normal American place is probably more Tex-Mex than you know. It's not really traditional like Mexican style food. Traditional Mexican style food is honestly not a lot different than like traditional American style food. Steak and vegetables, chicken and vegetables. Like it's with rice, with beans. You know, it's like pretty normal-ish food. And I order, usually the meals that I order, if you find a meal that lists with tortillas, that's probably like a more traditional Mexican food. And so I'll order carne asada or carnitas or arroz con pollo or huevos con chorizo for lunch, something that's, you know, a more traditional meal. And it always comes with tortillas on the side. Number one, I always order corn tortillas. Flour tortillas are trash. I don't like them at all. They're okay for breakfast stuff, but for a traditional meal. And I use those tortillas not like a traditional American, like a typical white person would pick up a tortilla, put a bunch of filling on it, fold it, and eat it like a taco. No, that's not how you use those. In the military, all of my friends are Hispanic. They took me to like restaurants that weren't really restaurants. They were just some abuela's basement where we ate, you know, dinner. And I learned to eat with them. And that was to take a tortilla and tear it into pieces and use those pieces to pick up food and eat it. And so when I go to Mexican restaurants, that's how I eat my food because it's super convenient and easy. Using a fork and knife, it's a mess. But for some reason, you take that little, you know, corner of a tortilla shell and just scoop some food up. Perfect. And it gets a lot of looks. People look at me like I'm crazy. The wait staff looks at me like they know. And, you know, they assume that I speak Spanish because I usually order in Spanish. I do know enough Spanish to order food, to talk, you know, to the normal stuff at a restaurant. I can get by with that. But I don't really know enough to speak Spanish. But they see me the way I eat, the way I order, and they think I know Spanish. But that's just me. I'm just weird. But I do get a lot of looks from Americans, like, why is he eating like a, I don't know. I don't know what they think. I don't care what they think. I'm eating it the way that I was taught to eat with my Mexican friends, my Hispanic friends. To be honest, there was a lot more non-Mexican Latinos and Latinas in the Marine Corps than Mexican, but there was a decent amount. Lots of other cultures though. So, okay, that's the 4 things I do weird when I'm eating. Do you have any weird eating habits? Things that you do that people go, what? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends and wonderful people. I really appreciate you. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Today's word you should know sounds smart is xenogamy. It's a noun meaning cross-pollination among plant species. The secret of your award-winning floral gardens is the careful use of xenogamy. 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 Is that like... That's just pollination. That's not grafting it, right? Like, so you can pollinate... Is this like the same thing as like breeding 2 different dog things? Does it make something new?